A visualization of the postal nightmare by Rick Harris and Melissa Hill. The U.S. Postal Service lost $3.3 billion last quarter alone, but this is only the beginning of this nightmarish story. Some of the difficulties include high spending and debt, a slow adaptation to change, and high labor costs, just to name a few. Several issues are directly causing this nightmare for the Postal Service and are firm examples of their inability to change. The Postal Accountability Enhancement Act of 2006 forces the USPS to pre-fund billions of dollars to pay for health care benefits of future retired employees that it hasn't even hired yet. And its labor-intensive business model has changed little over the decades and doesn't seem willing to change now. There's a reduced demand for physical letters, which means reduced revenue for the post office, and strong union ties make it hard to lay off inflated or unnecessary labor, and they have failed to embrace the internet-based services as a solution for their customers. All this equals deep distress for our nation's postal service. From 2003 till 2006, the Postal Service was profitable, earning $3.9 billion in 2003 alone. Since 2006, they have steadily reported operating losses. 2003 through 2007 saw a steady rise in mail volume, but since 2008, it's been a rapid decline. If the Postal Service were a private business, it would be filing for bankruptcy. By this year's end, it would be completely broke. Last quarter alone, they lost $3.3 billion. They lost $5.1 billion in 2011, $8.6 billion in 2010. In fact, 80% of the retail offices lose money. Something needs to change, and fast. If they don't change, the consequences include projected losses of $6.4 billion this year, the equivalent of bankruptcy for America's second largest civilian employer, the loss of employment for more than 57,000 workers, a continuing decline of mail volume and revenue, payroll deductions of 20% over the next 5 years, and $5.5 billion worth of health care costs in 2012 alone. But there is hope. Congress is working on a bill to reform the post office. They have a lot of work to do in addition to help the House and Senate bills. They must move, and quickly, into the digital age. They must consolidate processing plants to cut costs, and they're considering the addition of one day to deliver first class and priority mail. The Postal Service is not waiting for the government to solve their problems for them. They've proposed an improved network for sorting and transport, for retail and for delivery, and they would reassess labor costs, including compensation, benefits, and the retirement pre-fund, all of which equal huge savings for the USPS to the tune of $20 billion saved by the year 2015. Our sincere hope is that the U.S. Postal Service survives this nightmare and lives happily ever after.